Welcome everyone to another live stream. Maybe we are live. Looks we are live. A recurring theme here of breaking live streams. Of course, now we go online and we have. I tested this last night without actually going live. But I can't make this stuff up. As soon as we go live, we have some drop frames. Turns out it must be YouTube server or getting lost there in Doxys stuff. Why is this graph so broken? But I tested this last night, and it's first of all this MR TSP, something multimedia real-time streaming protocol stuff. Looked like TCP, not UDP, and so much to that explains why then the flow management stuff has there. Actually, this is local IP address. And now I have this running here also. We say this a couple of more drop frames. So fun fact, last night I was on the secondary YouTube server. The OBS has at least an option for primary and secondary, and the secondary was significantly worse. I switched to the primary and it was better. But of course, as soon as we go live, it is. Because last night it was reproducible. Using the primary server was better, using the secondary, and now, of course, I have it running for a minute or two, 0 drop frames. We go online and we have some drop frames. But anyway, welcome everyone to this fun stuff here. And also for testing this, let's leave this running and do a little bit of work. That also means I wanted to, so not only we want to automate our T2 update, T2 source distribution, Linux distribution stuff, to make this totally amazing great again. And for this one step, so sometime soon, like really in a couple of days, I will fully automate this of running. We have already since decades running nightly tracker on the server of scanning all these URLs of downloads, because certainly nobody wants to check hundreds or thousands of 10,000 of, I think we have 5,000 of packages, which we could also check. So ls, all of those description stuff here, and that is a word count best without Unicode, half character gibberish of 3,800 only. Okay, anyway, soon with all the FPGA, MP3 and all the other fun stuff, we soon have even more, and a couple of more drop frames. 5.3%. Can't make this stuff up. We could switch on. Also, I tested this last night. I have a comment on below the other videos. I had here in general to internet speed test stuff 26 Mbit up and 380, 400 something down. We could, I stream with a little bit more than YouTube recommends. Let's maybe change this to 5,000 and 5,300. Let's online try the secondary just for the fun of it. Back in one. And we are live with the secondary, not that I have the hopes, but there's also the pain. You test something, it works, and the next day some congestion, all the block here watching latest and greatest Netflix, Star Trek, Picard and whatnot. So this is the secondary. And there you see, you test this, you determine the secondary server sometimes better, and then of course, except if it's not better. Anyway, so the nightly updates. So for 0 drop frames on the new one. Welcome everyone there, or Fierce Orf there. So so not only we have here this automatism of, maybe leave it. So we have this automatism, so for the update scanning at night, 42 or your stuff at home. Of course, 101 drop frames. This is so annoying, it's unbelievable. For this we have, of course, we can just use the URL, except if it doesn't work, for example, directory listing or this modern GitHub releases. And for that you see already, we have already some hard codings, because if we take a look here on those modern GitHub release stuff, then we cannot simply directory list scan this here of ASCII doc, whatever here, certainly. So this is why we have here already some check version URL stuff. Let's quickly run some speed test here. Of course, this will result in a couple of more. So here. So in case you were, oh, this is a, I mean, this is whatever. What do we have on the screen? So you're not making this stuff up. Of course, this speed test results in quite some additional drop frames, but yeah, not joking that we have here some business cable and yet it's not enough. So 40 something Mbit, sometimes maybe whatever, but this could of course be peering. So all the big providers have their different routing over whatever additionally or direct. Also, yeah, whatever. But yeah, not that this connection would be too shabby, just that in general, either peering from Vodafone cable Germany stuff to YouTube, or their routing, or yeah, like some speed test works, but not revert because yeah, not paying for that. So anyway, but yeah, there you see already 10. Also, I think the primary 10%. Let me just quickly reconnect to the primary. I think it had slightly less drop frames. Also, actually, right now we stressed it. With the speed test. Anyway, if it is getting more again, then we switch again. But the recurring pain of live streaming and connection. And then people wonder why I'm not the most thrilled about Google Stadia and Nvidia Play or whatever stuff of streaming games when yeah, I can't even stream me myself reliably. In the center of Europe here, Berlin, Germany, no less, but yeah. So to make this more scalable, so of course I said this already before, we have this nightly email notification stuff, which is a good step, but next I will automate this to test build this. So next coming, I already created a user today of S Subversion, as we're still using Subversion. So you will soon see, maybe in a day or two, commits there on T2 under not René but Auto. And then after I live on YouTube also tomorrow, Monday or something, that we script this to test compile this so that, of course, it makes no sense to automatically commit what doesn't work, what is broken. So, of course, there are always many variables, so it could, of course, be broken on PowerPC and stuff. So we will, of course, test compile on the latest and greatest EPYC AMD Ryzen Threadripper thing, and because performance. So, and of course, a lot of stuff will not just build, for example, GNOME stuff. Once the live streams GNOME and Qt there, previous 6 hours, probably need to continue with that stuff another day. But automating this will free even more time so that I don't need to do morning updates. I wake up and already T2 auto commits of, hey, updated lib, whatever, CAC are there for you. So some fine tea here because, yeah. So, as a first step, also here while live stream testing of this reliability, let's quickly make this GitHub stuff greater because certainly it doesn't scale here to do that. So for that, let's delete here all this manual release stuff. So because initially, how many are this even? You see modern release stuff and then yeah, already 41 manual annotations of like Apple would do this with Siri of previous video, scripting all this stuff. Certainly not scalable. So let's delete all of this. So that is SED. So that would be something like this. Match this. And for example, we could like not print, and this could also potentially be partially, no, it isn't partially hidden. We could also make this by the way larger for you to read at home. And then print this stuff, and you have 41, and so yeah, using SAD like grep, totally no problem. So next we want to remove all of this, and again for this usually it's the best to use a totally, I mean obviously not the best, but the way how you're doing it, use a completely clean trunk. So the only things we have a little bit GCC modification, so need to be careful not to commit this together with the other stuff. And substitute in place edit matching this delete. Should probably do this as we in the eye. So that is removing here this manual check version line. And the next idea is to translate this automatically, because certainly we do not need to hard code that. That would be, let's try this with echoing this stuff here, also partially hidden. Sorry for that. So what we need to do is we need to remove everything after releases, so that would be SED substitute or we could theoretically, so the way how this works is right now we have here some program which also another day we need to modernize, update list of, for example, libva of what we just edited, and now it doesn't work anymore because previously we had this hard-coded there of check version URL, the stuff. Welcome everyone, by the way. How are you all doing today? I hope you're doing fine, especially with our YouTube live stream testing. So previously this was working, but we just have with this manual annotations, there you see the drawback of this modern URL stuff. That's not like a direction listing thing. And we have here already some MISC archive, I think either, where would it be, MISC something, and there should be like download translations. Yeah, are shared. So download translations is for normal downloads, and can never have enough notifications for your own videos. And so that would be check version translations. And normally I would draft this on the shell, but then it's partially hidden there with camera overviews or whatever. So let's directly do this inside here. You see we have already some, not really sure why we do this. This is also the SourceForge, is also automated translation for SourceForge. Hell of multiple generations of old URLs and stuff. So again, SED, of course, and so this would be matching everything GitHub, probably HTTP everything, and then GitHub releases, and here is source whatever. So this would be, I mean, obviously we need all of this, so this would be releases everything else. So basically we can already save here everything in this captcha of escaped parentheses and http everything github.com / whatever releases, and then anything else after this. And the point is like match and capture all of this and just use it, because that is exactly what was previously here, xcb util something releases, and throwing all the download whatever version and file name stuff away here, and translating this to, translating this basically to the whole captcha that we capture there, and throwing the remaining stuff away there. That probably should work, depending on how many typos we have in there. Yes, 3 point. By the way, for the recurring YouTube video live streaming hiccups, I've neither resetted or rebooted the router and stuff. So yeah, today it just works better because, yeah. Oh, except the primary last night. The primary, probably this is also load like 10,000 of people in the world live streaming over YouTube, certainly causing some congestion there in general. It's the YouTube Google server stuff. So let's try this again. Of course it doesn't work. What could be the reason? This is why I usually test this. So escape, like capture that, GitHub. Also, yeah, there's already typo. That should be, probably I deleted this somehow accidentally of some sort. Let's try that again. This is why I usually, now it works already. And so there you see scalability and automation, and certainly with amazing good old-fashioned Unix tools like SED, org, and shell scripting. So with this one line, in retrospect, I should have known better and done this directly. But basically this one line replaces now all the other manual overrides here. We could check that. Well, theoretically, it's always good to test it with everything. We could even automate this, but probably YOLO. And so yeah, that also works. And the benefit is, of course, this now also works for all the other GitHub packages that we previously have not did not hard code there. Probably there are some where we didn't do this. And usually, yeah, scripts commit. Let's see, scripts commit for that package. All of those packages.desk. So normally you could just say packages, whatever, but we have at least one gcc.conf in there, so that is why we only do globbing there on desks. Takes even, yeah, did we, I'm not sure if we had cached this all. Either this takes a while for caching or for either for caching or in general because the shell scripting stuff. We also had this one, so much to being careful. So share CV, something not to commit this arch tag stuff. And yeah, again, so it's not caching, it's just that the shell scripting stuff just takes a while. So in the meantime, we have another 500 drop frames, which certainly is not amazing. Let me switch to the primary YouTube server just. But yeah, the problem is from my end here, it's then hard to see where it's getting lost. If it's overload in DOCSIS cable, shared medium here of coax cable in this segment here, or if it's peering, Vodafone Germany, peering congestion, or if it's just the YouTube servers, whatever. Anyway, so the scripts download, I was for a moment considering whether to just use SVN commit, but then, yeah, why not? Because the scripts download, the scripts commit is automatically updating the copyright. And anyway, first I was thinking maybe it's not worse for this removal of check version URL, but on the other hand, maybe not a bad thing to indicate that these files were touched eventually. So yeah, removed manual CV URL favor of one generic that is MISC archive or MISC share translation. Yeah, this kind of thing, I mean, in retrospect, but yeah, probably initially well, there's always the first package that does it and you were wondering, yeah, and hope that maybe they do this differently at GitHub and stuff. But yeah, in the meantime, there you see one package, two packages, and then they mentioned 41 manual overrides here of, yeah, this good fun stuff. Yeah, this is how you make your Linux distribution better, perfecting and automation. The next, of course, by the way, I hope still have, yeah, this, and what else do we have here? Actually quite a few things of Duvi. Probably we don't have this arch test in here. Probably I can revert this again. And in general, yeah, so next thing, but this is probably for another day, and zero primes. Probably we do an IT news now. I mostly wanted to, well, document the sorts, hang out and test the YouTube live streaming. It's super annoying that each day you have some other outage and congestion stuff. Anyway, that's it for this video. Probably I do some live broadcast now, so probably see you for that. And otherwise, don't forget to like and subscribe for all this work on Linux distribution stuff and all the other fun software and hardware fun here on this channel.